The identity of Jack the Ripper, a name that has become synonymous with one of history's most notorious unsolved mysteries, continues to captivate the public's imagination even over a century after the gruesome murders in London's Whitechapel district in 1888. Despite numerous investigations, countless theories, and a plethora of suspects, the true identity of this infamous figure remains elusive. Many believe that the Ripper was a local, someone familiar with the streets and alleys of Whitechapel, which were notorious for their poverty and crime during that time. Some of the prominent suspects over the years have included individuals like Montague John Druitt, a barrister who drowned himself shortly after the murders ceased, and Aaron Kosminski, a Polish immigrant who was institutionalized for mental health issues and had a known hatred of women. Another possible suspect is George Chapman, a Polish-born barber who was later convicted of poisoning 3 of his wives. His violent past and proximity to the murders led some to speculate about his involvement. There's also been significant interest in a man named Walter Sickert, an artist whose works depicted themes of violence and death, and some researchers believe he may have had knowledge about the crimes or even inspired them through his art. The lack of concrete evidence, combined with the passage of time, has led to wild speculation, even suggesting that Jack the Ripper could have been someone in a position of power, like a member of the royal family or a doctor, which would explain the meticulous nature of the crimes and the ability to evade capture. Adding to the intrigue, various letters were sent to the police and media at the time, purportedly from the Ripper himself, with one, famously known as the Dear Boss, a letter signing off with the name Jack the Ripper. Though experts debate the authenticity of these letters, they undeniably added a layer of chilling fascination to the case. The combination of the brutal nature of the murders, the mystery surrounding the identity of the killer, and the societal conditions of Victorian London have all contributed to Jack the Ripper becoming a figure of enduring interest, sparking countless books, films, and documentaries. The fascination with Jack the Ripper is not just about who he was, but also about the societal issues of the time, such as the treatment of women, the state of public health, and the inadequacies of the police force. The victims, often referred to as the Canonai Five, were marginalized women. Many hunted historians, archaeologists, and treasure hunters for centuries, yet its exact location remains a mystery, shrouded in legend and speculation. Cleopatra VII, the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt, is often remembered for her intelligence, political acumen, and dramatic life. But her final resting place has eluded discovery. Many believe that her tomb is somewhere near Alexandria, a city that was the center of culture and politics in her time. Historical texts suggest that she and her lover, Mark Antony, were buried together, which adds another layer to the quest, as locating their joint burial site could offer significant insights into their lives and the era they lived in. Several archaeological expeditions have been conducted in the area surrounding Alexandria, particularly around the ancient site of Taposiris Magna, which some researchers propose could be the key to finding her tomb. This site, which contains numerous artifacts and a series of tombs, has sparked excitement among archaeologists, and recent discoveries of mummies and coins have only fueled speculation. Some experts believe that Cleopatra's tomb could be hidden beneath the sand, perhaps even in a submerged part of the ancient city. As Alexandria has experienced significant changes due to earthquakes and rising sea levels over the centuries. In addition to Taposiris Magna, another intriguing location is the Temple of Isis, which was a significant site during Cleopatra's reign. It is thought that the temple could hold clues to her burial, as it was a place of worship dedicated to the goddess who played a crucial role in her life and legacy. This connection to the divine might suggest that her final resting place was chosen with great care, perhaps to ensure she would be remembered and revered in the afterlife. While many theories abound, the lack of definitive archaeological evidence has led to much speculation. Some have even suggested that her tomb might have been deliberately hidden to prevent it from being looted, a common fate for many royal burial sites in the ancient world. The search for Cleopatra's tomb continues to be a tantalizing quest, one that captures the imagination as each new discovery brings us closer to understanding the life and legacy of this iconic queen. Many remain hopeful that one day the sands of time will reveal the secrets of her final resting place, allowing us to pay our respects to one of history's most fascinating figures. The lost colony of Roanoke, established in 1587, has intrigued historians, archaeologists, and the public for centuries. This colony, located on Roanoke Island off the coast of North Carolina, was one of the first attempts by the English to establish a permanent settlement in the New World. When Governor John White returned from England in 1590, after a 3-year absence, he found the colony deserted, with no sign of the settlers except for the word Croatoan carved into a tree, which has sparked countless theories and debates about what happened to the inhabitants. One popular theory suggests that the colonists may have integrated with local Native American tribes, particularly the Croatan, as they were known to have a friendly relationship with them prior to the colony's disappearance. Other theories posit that the settlers faced harsh conditions such as drought, famine, or conflicts with indigenous peoples, which could have led to their demise. Some historians speculate that the settlers attempted to sail back to England, but they may have met with disaster at sea. Archaeological evidence has provided insights into the lives of the Roanoke colonists, with researchers uncovering artifacts that suggest they struggled to adapt to their new environment, relying on both European and Native American methods of survival. In the 1990s, excavations at sites like the site of a potential 16th century fort on Roanoke Island led to discoveries of items such as pottery, tools, and even evidence of imported goods, indicating a complex interaction between the colonists and their surroundings. Despite these findings, the true fate of the lost colony remains shrouded in mystery. Over the years, various expeditions have sought to uncover more about the Roanoke settlers, but the lack of definitive evidence continues to fuel speculation. Some even believe that the settlers may have moved to a nearby island or the mainland, where they could have established a new community, while other theories delve into the realm of the supernatural, suggesting that they vanished without a trace due to mysterious forces. The story of Roanoke has permeated popular culture, inspiring numerous books, films, and television series, all of which reflect the enduring fascination with this enigmatic chapter in American history. The mystery of the lost colony continues to captivate our imagination as it raises questions about survival, resilience, and the complexities of early colonial life in America, leaving many to wonder what truly happened to those early settlers and why the construction techniques of the pyramids, particularly those in Egypt, have fascinated historians, archaeologists, and the general public for centuries, as they represent one of the most remarkable feats of engineering in human history. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for instance, was built during the 4th dynasty, around 2580 to 2560 BCE, and it is estimated to have taken around 20 years to complete. One of the most widely accepted theories about the construction methods involves the use of a large workforce, which was likely composed of skilled laborers and seasonal workers, who were well fed and housed, rather than slaves as often portrayed in popular culture. These workers used a combination of simple tools, such as chisels made of copper and stone, alongside wooden sledges to transport the massive limestone blocks from quarries, sometimes located quite far from the pyramid site. Recent studies suggest that they might have even used water to lubricate the sand in front of the sledges, significantly reducing friction and making it easier to move the heavy stones. Moreover, the construction site itself was organized meticulously, with workers divided into teams, each responsible for different tasks. Creating a highly efficient workflow, the blocks were shaped with great precision, allowing them to fit together tightly, which is part of what has helped the pyramids withstand the test of time. The pyramids were built in layers, with ramps constructed to help haul the stones up as the pyramid grew taller. These ramps could have been straight, zigzagged, or circular, depending on the stage of construction and the design chosen by the builders. Interestingly, there's evidence to suggest that the ancient Egyptians also employed a technique involving levers which would help lift the stones into place, especially as the structure reached higher elevations. The alignment of the pyramids is another marvel, as they were constructed with incredible precision, aligning closely with the cardinal points, north, south, east, and west. This alignment reflects the ancient Egyptians' advanced understanding of astronomy and their desire to connect the earthly realm with the divine. Additionally, the use of geometry played a crucial role in the design of the pyramids, as ancient architects applied complex mathematical principles to ensure stability and aesthetics. The ratio of the height of the pyramid to the perimeter of its base approximates the value of pi, indicating a sophisticated level of knowledge. The end result of these techniques is the iconic pyramids that continue to stand as a testament to human ingenuity and the rich history of ancient civilizations. The Tunguska event, which occurred on June 30, 1908, in Siberia, remains one of the most mysterious and fascinating occurrences in modern history, capturing the imagination of scientists and enthusiasts alike. The primary motive behind the Tunguska event is still a subject of debate, as researchers have proposed various theories to explain what happened that day, with the most widely accepted explanation being that a small comet or asteroid exploded in the atmosphere, releasing energy equivalent to around 10 to 15 megatons of TNT. This explosion flattened an estimated 2,000 square kilometers of forest, knocking down more than 80 million trees. And yet, astonishingly, there were no confirmed human casualties, which adds to the enigma surrounding the event. Some scientists have even suggested that the explosion was caused by a fragment of a comet, which broke apart as it entered the Earth's atmosphere, while others believe it might have been an asteroid. This speculation leads to interesting discussions about the nature of celestial objects and their potential impact on Earth. The fact that no impact crater was found has fueled further theories, with some claiming that the object disintegrated before reaching the ground. Yet, the motives behind why such an event might occur extend beyond mere celestial movements. The Tunguska event has sparked speculation in popular culture and conspiracy theories, with some people positing that it could have been a secret weapons test gone wrong, or even an alien spacecraft explosion, although these ideas lack substantial evidence. The scientific community, however, focuses primarily on the natural explanations, emphasizing the importance of understanding the risks posed by near-Earth objects. In the years following the event, researchers have continued to study the area, conducting expeditions to gather evidence and better understand the phenomenon. The remote location of the explosion and the political climate of early 20th century Russia made it difficult to investigate the incident immediately. It wasn't until the 1920s that scientists were able to explore the site more thoroughly, collecting samples and analyzing the ecological impact, which has provided valuable insight into the aftermath of such a massive explosion. The Tunguska event serves as a reminder of the dynamic and often unpredictable nature of our universe, as well as the potential threats posed by space debris. It has led to advancements in the field of planetary defense, as understanding such events is crucial for developing strategies to protect our planet from future impacts. The ongoing research into the Tunguska event and the mysteries surrounding it. The Antikythera mechanism, often referred to as the world's oldest known analog computer, has fascinated historians, scientists, and enthusiasts alike since its discovery in 1901 off the coast of the Greek island of Antikythera. Researchers believe it dates back to around 150 to 100 BCE, making it a remarkable artifact from ancient Greece. But its origins and purpose have prompted a great deal of speculation and study over the years. The mechanism itself consists of a complex system of gears and dials, which were used to calculate astronomical positions and predict celestial events, such as eclipses and the positions of the planets. This intricate device was housed in a wooden case which, although largely decayed, has provided invaluable insights into the technological capabilities of the ancient Greeks. The discovery of the mechanism came about when a group of sponge divers stumbled upon a shipwreck that had lain on the seabed for centuries. Among the artifacts they found not only the gears, but also various statues, pottery, and other treasures that painted a picture of life in the Mediterranean during that era. The mechanism was heavily corroded, and it took many years for researchers to understand its significance. Through X-ray imaging and advanced imaging techniques, scientists uncovered the arrangement of the gears, revealing a level of sophistication that had previously been thought to be unattainable for that time period. What makes the Antikythera mechanism particularly interesting is how it showcases the advanced understanding of astronomy and mathematics that existed in ancient Greece. Scholars have identified that the device was designed to replicate the movements of the Sun and Moon, as well as the 5 known planets at the time, which were Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. By turning a hand crank, users could align the mechanism to specific dates, allowing them to predict future astronomical events, which was extremely valuable for agricultural and religious calendars. Interestingly, the Antikythera mechanism is not an isolated example of ancient technology, but it represents a peak in a long history of mechanical inventions in the Greco-Roman world. Devices such as water clocks, astrolabes, and even early steam engines hint at the ingenuity of ancient engineers. However, the level of complexity seen in the Antikythera mechanism is unparalleled, leading some historians to speculate that it may have been the work of a single genius or a collaborative effort of skilled craftsmen who specialized in astronomy, mathematics, and engineering. In recent years, the study of the ant on Christmas Eve in 1945. The Sodder family's home in Fayetteville, West Virginia, was consumed by a mysterious fire, leading to the tragic disappearance of 5 of the 10 Sodder children. George and Jenny Sodder were left with an overwhelming sense of loss and confusion. As the fire raged through their home, they managed to escape, but their 5 children, ages 5 to 14, were believed to be trapped inside. However, what makes this case particularly puzzling is that no remains were ever found, leaving many to wonder what truly happened that night. As George and Jenny began to piece together the events surrounding the tragedy, they noticed several strange occurrences, including a lack of fire damage to the area where the children were last seen, and a suspicious absence of fire trucks, which led them to suspect that the fire may have been deliberately set. In the aftermath, they received various tips and sightings of their children, some of which suggested that they might have been kidnapped. This ignited a relentless search for answers. As the Sodders put up a billboard along the highway, offering a reward for any information about their children, the couple encountered numerous leads, which only fueled their determination. But despite their efforts, the truth about that fateful night remained elusive. Many people were captivated by the mystery, and it sparked various theories. Some believed that the children had been kidnapped by an organized crime syndicate, while others suggested that they had perished in the fire. As time passed, George and Jenny continued to hold out hope, even going so far as to consult psychics and private investigators. One of the more intriguing pieces of evidence came when the Sodders received a photograph in 1953, which they believed showed their missing children. The photo was sent from a woman in Florida, claiming to have seen them. but the authorities were never able to verify the claim, adding another layer of mystery to the case. In 1968, the Sodders erected a new billboard, which included updated information and a larger reward. The continued public interest in the case led to several documentaries and articles highlighting the unresolved disappearance of the Sodder children and raising questions about the reliability of eyewitness accounts and the role of law enforcement in investigating the case. Despite the lack of closure, the Sodder family remained steadfast in their belief that their children were still alive, and the story of the Voynich manuscript, a mysterious and enigmatic book, has puzzled scholars, cryptographers, and curious minds since its discovery in the early 20th century. This manuscript, which dates back to the early 15th century, is written in an unknown script, featuring illustrations of strange plants, astronomical diagrams, and figures that have sparked countless theories about its purpose and origin. Many have attempted to decode its text, but so far no one has succeeded in providing a definitive translation, leading to the suggestion that it may be an elaborate hoax, or perhaps a coded language devised by its creator. The manuscript is named after Wilfrid Voynich, a rare book dealer who purchased it in 1912, but its journey through history is just as intriguing. Some researchers believe it may have been created as a herbal or medicinal guide, given its detailed drawings of plants, while others speculate it could be a form of alchemical text, intertwined with the mystical beliefs of the time. The illustrations, which include fantastical creatures and strange women bathing in green pools, add to the manuscript's allure as they challenge our understanding of medieval science and art. Various theories suggest it might have been produced in Italy, given the style of the illustrations and the materials used. Though its exact place of origin remains a mystery, there's also a theory that it may have been intended for a specific audience, perhaps a secret society, which would explain the use of coded language and obscure references. In recent years, advances in digital imaging and machine learning have provided new tools for researchers, sparking renewed interest in deciphering the text, although success has been limited. The manuscript has even inspired artists, writers, and filmmakers, contributing to its status as a cultural phenomenon. As people continue to be captivated by its secrets, the Voynich manuscript stands as a testament to human curiosity and the desire to unlock the mysteries of the past, as it invites us to ponder not only its contents, but also the stories of those who created and preserved it. The identity of the Zodiac Killer remains one of the most intriguing, unsolved mysteries in criminal history, captivating the public's imagination for decades. Active in the late 1000s, 960s, and early 1970s, this enigmatic figure was responsible for at least 5 confirmed murders in Northern California, but he claimed to have killed as many as 37 people, leading to widespread fear and fascination. The killer is known for sending taunting letters to the press and police, often including ciphers that, when decoded, revealed chilling messages, some of which remain unsolved to this day. A notable aspect of the case is the killer's ability to elude capture, despite the intense media coverage and investigations by law enforcement agencies. Over the years, many suspects have been proposed, with theories ranging from a disgruntled military veteran to a local mechanic, each backed by various pieces of circumstantial evidence, but none have definitively proven to be the Zodiac. In recent years, advancements in DNA technology have reignited interest in the case, leading to attempts to extract DNA from the letters sent by the killer. In 2020, a group of amateur sleuths, known as the Case Breakers, claimed they had identified the Zodiac Killer as Gary Francis Post, a deceased serial killer who had been imprisoned for other crimes. Their assertions were based on circumstantial evidence and a supposed match to the killer's profile. However, law enforcement agencies have been cautious, stating that there is no conclusive evidence linking Post to the Zodiac killings, emphasizing the need for more rigorous investigation before drawing any final conclusions. The case is further complicated by the killer's ability to evade law enforcement, leading to a host of theories about how he managed to remain undetected, with some suggesting he may have had a background in law enforcement or military training, which could have equipped him with the skills to avoid capture. The Zodiac's letters, particularly the infamous 340-character cipher, became a symbol of the case's complexity, with amateur and professional cryptographers alike spending countless hours trying to decode them. In 2020, a team of codebreakers announced they had cracked the cipher, revealing a message filled with bizarre and disturbing phrases, which only added to the killer's mystique. Moreover, the Zodiac Killer has inspired numerous documentaries, books, and films, each exploring the psychological profile of the killer and the impact of the murders on the victims' families, as well as the wider community. Among the most famous portrayals, the Nazca lines, those enormous geoglyphs etched into the desert floor of southern Peru, have puzzled historians, archaeologists, and tourists alike for decades. Spanning an area of around 1,000 square kilometers, these lines depict various shapes, including animals, plants, and geometric figures, some measuring over 1,200 feet in length. The reason for their creation remains a topic of debate among experts, but several theories have emerged, each providing a unique perspective on these ancient symbols. One popular theory suggests that the Nazca lines were created by the Nazca culture between 500 BCE and 500 CE, primarily for religious or ceremonial purposes. It is believed that the figures might have been intended as offerings to the gods, with the hope of ensuring water, fertility, and successful crops, as the region is characterized by its arid climate, making water a precious resource. Another intriguing theory proposes that the lines served as astronomical markers. Some researchers argue that certain figures align with celestial bodies or events, such as the solstices and equinoxes, suggesting that the Nazca people might have used these geoglyphs to track astronomical cycles, which would have been essential for agricultural planning. In a society dependent on the seasonal rains, the idea that these lines could be a form of a giant calendar, guiding the people in their agricultural practices, adds another layer of complexity to our understanding of their purpose. There are also theories that suggest the lines were pathways for rituals or processions, where people would walk along these lines in a spiritual journey, connecting them with their beliefs and the cosmos. This perspective emphasizes the cultural and spiritual significance of the Nazca lines, viewing them as more than mere art, but as integral elements of the Nazca society's identity and religious practices. Interestingly, modern technology, such as drones and satellite imagery, has opened new avenues for studying these geoglyphs. Researchers have discovered that some lines have been designed with a level of precision that suggests a sophisticated understanding of geometry and spatial awareness, which raises questions about the level of knowledge possessed by the Nazca people. Some researchers speculate that the Nazca lines might also serve as a form of communication, potentially conveying messages to other nearby cultures or tribes. Although this theory is less supported by the evidence, yet it remains an intriguing possibility. The mystery surrounding the Nazca lines is further heightened by the fact that they can only be appreciated fully from the air, leading to speculation about how the Stonehenge, an iconic prehistoric monument located in Wiltshire, England, has captivated the imaginations of historians, archaeologists, and visitors alike for centuries. Its massive stones, arranged in a circular layout, sparking numerous theories about its purpose. One popular belief is that Stonehenge served as a ceremonial site, a place where ancient people gathered to celebrate significant events, such as solstices and equinoxes, marking the changing seasons and honoring the sun's path across the sky. During the summer solstice, thousands of people today flock to Stonehenge to witness the sunrise align perfectly with the stones, an event that echoes the practices of our ancestors, who likely used this time for rituals, celebrations, and community gatherings, fostering a deep connection to nature and the cosmos. Another theory suggests that Stonehenge was a burial site, as archaeological excavations have uncovered cremated remains and artifacts in the surrounding area, indicating that it held significance in the ancient belief systems regarding death and the afterlife. Some researchers propose that the stones themselves, with their massive size and unique characteristics, could represent ancestors or deities, serving as a focal point for memorializing the deceased and performing rituals associated with death, thereby reinforcing the idea of continuity between the living and the dead. This connection to burial practices might have made the site a sacred space where communities could honor their lineage and reflect on their beliefs about mortality and existence. Furthermore, the construction of Stonehenge itself reveals insights into the social and technological capabilities of the people who built it. The logistics involved in transporting the massive stones, some weighing as much as 25 tons, from their source in Wales to the site in Wiltshire, demonstrate a high level of organization and cooperation among different groups, suggesting that Stonehenge was also a unifying project that brought together individuals from various tribes or communities, fostering social ties and shared identities. This monumental effort might have reflected the importance of the site within the broader cultural landscape, serving not only as a physical structure, but also as a symbol of collective achievement and unity. In addition to ceremonial and burial purposes, some scholars believe that Stonehenge may have had astronomical significance, functioning as an ancient observatory for tracking celestial events. The precise alignment of the stones with the movements of the sun and moon indicates that the builders possessed advanced knowledge of astronomy, which they likely used to inform agricultural practices such as planting and harvesting crops based on the seasonal cycles. This understanding of celestial patterns could have been crucial. The Great Sphinx of Giza, one of the most iconic monuments of ancient Egypt, has stood for thousands of years, captivating the imagination of historians, tourists, and archaeologists alike. However, this magnificent structure, carved from limestone, has been subject to significant erosion, raising questions about its preservation and the environmental factors contributing to its deterioration. One of the primary causes of the Sphinx's erosion is the natural weathering process, which includes both chemical and physical elements. Wind, with its relentless gusts, has worn away the softer limestone, while sand particles carried by the wind act like tiny chisels, gradually abrading the surface of the statue over time. Additionally, the region's temperature fluctuations can create stress on the stone, causing fissures and cracks that make the Sphinx more susceptible to further erosion. Another significant factor influencing the Sphinx's erosion is the impact of human activity. Over the centuries, pollution from nearby urban areas has contributed to the deterioration of the monument. Acid rain, formed when pollutants mix with moisture in the atmosphere, can lead to chemical reactions that break down the limestone, making it more fragile. Furthermore, the presence of tourists can exacerbate the problem. The sheer number of visitors, combined with the wear from climbing or touching the Sphinx, adds to the erosion process. As people interact with the monument, they unintentionally contribute to the physical wear and tear that the structure faces. Interestingly, some researchers also point to the Sphinx's original construction techniques as a factor in its erosion. The limestone used in its creation varies in hardness, meaning some areas are more vulnerable to erosion than others. This uneven wear can lead to an imbalance in the structure, which may facilitate cracks and further deterioration. Moreover, the Sphinx has been buried up to its shoulders in sand for centuries, which helped protect it from the elements. But as the sand has been removed for archaeological purposes, the statue has been exposed to more erosive forces than ever before. Climate change is yet another modern concern that could lead to accelerated erosion of the Great Sphinx. As global temperatures rise, the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events may increase, leading to stronger winds and more severe storms that can further erode the stone. The combination of rising sea levels and changing precipitation patterns could also affect the local environment, with potential implications for the Sphinx's longevity. In conclusion, the erosion of the Great Sphinx is a complex interplay of natural forces and human impact, with a variety of Amelia Earhart, an American aviation pioneer and author, vanished on July 2, 1937 during her attempt to circumnavigate the globe, an endeavor that captivated the world. Earhart, who was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean, was known for her daring spirit and her commitment to advancing women's roles in aviation. On her final flight, she and her navigator, Fred Noonan, departed from Lae, New Guinea, bound for Howland Island, a tiny, uninhabited isle in the Pacific Ocean, which was to serve as a crucial refueling stop. The journey was fraught with challenges, including difficult weather conditions, limited navigation technology of the time, and the vastness of the ocean, which made communication and location tracking incredibly challenging. As the pair made their way toward Howland Island, they encountered radio communication difficulties which led to growing concerns about their safety. Despite their meticulous planning, Earhart and Noonan never reached their destination. The last confirmed radio transmission from Earhart indicated that they were running low on fuel, and they were unable to pinpoint their location. A massive search operation was launched by the US government, involving ships and planes, but after weeks of searching, no trace of Earhart or Noonan was found, leaving the world in suspense and raising countless theories about their fate. Over the years, various theories have emerged regarding what happened to Amelia Earhart. Some suggest that she and Noonan landed on an uninhabited island and lived for a time before succumbing to the harsh conditions. Others propose that they may have been captured by Japanese forces, as tensions were rising in the Pacific at that time. There are even claims that Earhart lived out her life under a different identity, which adds an intriguing twist to the mystery. In 1940, bones were discovered on the island of Nicomaroro, which some researchers believe could belong to Earhart. However, despite forensic examinations, the evidence was not conclusive, and the true fate of Amelia Earhart continues to elude historians and enthusiasts alike. Her disappearance remains one of the most enduring mysteries of the 20th century, inspiring countless books, documentaries, and even movies. The fascination with her story is not just about the mystery, but also about her groundbreaking achievements and the barriers she broke down for women in aviation and other fields. In recent years, advances in technology, including sonar mapping and underwater exploration, the Bermuda Triangle, often shrouded in mystery and intrigue, is a region in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean, where numerous aircraft and ships have reportedly disappeared under unexplained circumstances. This area, formed by points in Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, has sparked countless theories and speculations over the years, leading many to wonder about its true purpose. One prevalent theory suggests that the Bermuda Triangle acts as a natural navigational challenge, where unpredictable weather patterns, magnetic anomalies, and underwater topography create hazardous conditions for travelers. The region is known for sudden storms, strong currents, and even rogue waves, which can catch even the most experienced mariners off guard, leading to accidents and disappearances. Another interesting perspective on the Bermuda Triangle is its historical significance as a shipping and travel route. For centuries, this triangle has served as a crucial passageway for trade and exploration, linking the Americas with Europe and beyond. The heavy traffic in this area, combined with the natural dangers mentioned before, contributes to the number of incidents reported. However, while the Bermuda Triangle has gained notoriety for its supposed supernatural or paranormal phenomena, Many researchers argue that the majority of incidents can be attributed to human error, equipment failure, or natural disasters, rather than any mysterious force. Additionally, some scientists and investigators have looked into the geological features of the Bermuda Triangle, noting that the region is home to underwater features such as deep-sea trenches and canyons. These geological formations can create unique and sometimes perilous conditions for vessels traversing the area. The presence of methane hydrates, which can erupt and cause sudden sinkholes, has also been suggested as a potential factor in some of the mysterious disappearances. On the flip side, there are skeptics who argue that the legend of the Bermuda Triangle is largely a myth, fueled by sensationalism and media portrayals. They point out that statistically, the number of incidents in the Bermuda Triangle is not significantly higher than in other heavily traveled regions of the world. In fact, some studies have shown that many of the stories associated with the triangle are exaggerated or fabricated, leading to a distorted view of its dangers. As more researchers investigate this subject, it becomes clear that the Bermuda Triangle serves as a fascinating case study of how human perception, folklore, and environmental science intertwine. Overall, the purpose of the Bermuda Triangle might not be as sinister or mysterious as it seems. Instead, it could simply be a combination of natural forces, human activity, and the mystery of Oak Island. The small island located off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, has captivated treasure hunters, historians, and curious minds for centuries. The story begins in 1795, when a young man named Daniel McGinnis discovered a circular depression in the ground, leading him to believe that pirates, or perhaps the infamous Captain Kidd, had buried treasure there. Over the years, various expeditions have scoured the island, uncovering intriguing artifacts and puzzling structures, but the elusive treasure remains unfound. One of the most notable features of Oak Island is the so-called Money Pit, a deep shaft that has been excavated multiple times, revealing layers of wood, stone, and clay, which have led to theories about elaborate booby traps designed to protect whatever treasure lies beneath. Many believe that the pit is a cleverly constructed system to thwart treasure hunters, with flooding being a constant hazard, as tunnels filled with seawater have thwarted many attempts to reach the bottom. As researchers and enthusiasts have dug deeper into the island's history, they have encountered a variety of artifacts, including old coins, tools, and even a stone with mysterious inscriptions, leading to speculation about the origins and purpose of the treasure. Some theories suggest that the treasure could belong to the Knights Templar, while others believe it may be linked to William Shakespeare's works, with the notion that the manuscripts may have been hidden on the island. In recent years, the story of Oak Island has gained renewed interest, largely due to the popular television series that chronicles the ongoing search for treasure, showcasing the dedication and determination of those who believe something significant lies buried beneath the surface. The island is not just a treasure hunt. It has become a symbol of adventure, persistence, and the human desire to uncover the unknown. In addition to the treasure, Oak Island is surrounded by legends and folklore, with tales of ghostly apparitions and mysterious disappearances adding to its enigmatic reputation. Many visitors to the island report feeling an eerie presence, further fueling the intrigue surrounding the area. Furthermore, numerous theories abound regarding the involvement of historical figures, including Sir Francis Bacon and even early American presidents, suggesting that the treasure could be of monumental significance, not just financially, but historically as well. Despite countless excavations and millions of dollars spent, the treasure remains hidden, leading some to believe that perhaps the true treasure of Oak Island lies in its rich history. And the stories that have emerged from the pursuit of what lies beneath the Easter Island statues, known as moai, are one of the most intriguing mysteries of the world, captivating the imagination of many while raising questions about the culture and history of the Rapa Nui people, who inhabited the island. These massive stone figures, some weighing over 14 tons and standing as tall as 33 feet, were carved from volcanic tuff and are believed to have been created between the years 1400 and 1650. The moai were primarily made to represent ancestors, serving as a way for the Rapa Nui people to connect with their heritage and honor their lineage. Each statue was designed with distinct facial features, and the placement of these statues across the island was deliberate, as they were often positioned to face inland, watching over the communities and their people, symbolizing protection and guidance. Interestingly, the construction and transportation of the moai required immense effort and organization, which suggests a highly developed society with a strong sense of communal purpose. Researchers believe that the Rapa Nui utilized a combination of logs, ropes, and manpower to move these colossal figures from the quarry, where they were carved, to their final destinations. The process was not only a demonstration of their engineering skills, but also a reflection of the social and political structures within the Rapa Nui society, as leaders often commissioned the moai to solidify their status and influence. However, the creation of these statues had profound implications for the environment and the society of Easter Island. The deforestation that occurred as a result of logging for transportation, combined with the demands of the growing population, led to significant ecological changes. This environmental strain likely contributed to social unrest and the eventual decline of the civilization, as resources became scarce and conflicts arose over land and food. In recent years, archaeological studies have uncovered various moai that were previously buried, revealing even more about the Rapa Nui's artistic and cultural practices. Some of these newly discovered statues exhibit features that suggest they were created for different purposes, perhaps representing different deities or serving as markers for sacred sites. The ongoing research continues to shed light on how these impressive monuments reflect not only the artistry of the Rapa Nui people, but also their beliefs, values, and the challenges they faced throughout their history. The moai stand today as a testament to human ingenuity, resilience, and the complex interplay between culture and environment, inviting us to ponder the stories of those who came before us on this remote and enigmatic island. The man in the iron mask, a mysterious figure from the 17th century, has fascinated historians and the public alike for centuries, his identity shrouded in secrecy and his story wrapped in intrigue. He was a prisoner in France during the reign of King Louis XIV, and the most notable aspect of his imprisonment was the mask he was forced to wear, which was made of iron, although some accounts suggest it could have been of velvet. This peculiar punishment has led to various theories about who he was, with some historians proposing that he was an illegitimate twin brother of Louis XIV, while others suggest he was a political prisoner, possibly a nobleman who threatened the monarchy. One of the most popular theories is that he was Eustache d'Auger, a man arrested for unknown reasons, whose identity was kept secret by the government to protect the dignity of the royal family. This theory is compelling, especially considering that d'Auger was imprisoned for many years, and his name appeared in various records related to the royal court. But the lack of definitive evidence leaves room for speculation. Another intriguing possibility is that he was actually a member of the aristocracy who was involved in a conspiracy against the crown, and the king decided that keeping him alive but hidden from the public eye was the safest course of action. In addition, some theories suggest he could have been a foreign spy, someone whose knowledge of royal secrets could have posed a threat to France's stability. But again, the evidence is circumstantial, leading to more questions than answers. The mystery deepens when considering the role of the mask itself. It has been suggested that the mask was used to prevent him from being recognized, but others argue it was a method of humiliation, forcing him to live in a state of perpetual anonymity. Over time, various writers and artists have been inspired by the man in the iron mask, incorporating him into literature and film, further embedding him into popular culture. Alexandre Dumas famously included the character in his novel, The Vicomte of Bragelonne, adding layers to the mythos surrounding this enigmatic figure. Additionally, the lack of concrete records about his life and background has only fueled the fire of speculation, with many historians still debating his true identity. And while some assert that he was a mere footnote in history, others believe that his story reflects broader themes of power, secrecy, and the often cruel nature of royal politics. This enduring mystery, coupled with the Ark of the Covenant, a sacred object mentioned in the Bible, has intrigued scholars, historians, and treasure hunters for centuries. Its fate is shrouded in mystery, and various theories abound regarding its current whereabouts. According to biblical accounts, the Ark was built by the Israelites under the guidance of Moses to house the tablets containing the Ten Commandments. It was described as a gold-plated wooden chest adorned with cherubim on its lid, and was considered the embodiment of God's presence among his people. After leading the Israelites through the desert, the Ark played a vital role in their conquests, most notably at the Battle of Jericho, where its presence was believed to have brought down the city's walls. However, after the Babylonians conquered Jerusalem in 586 BCE, the Ark seemingly vanished, leading to numerous theories regarding its fate. One popular theory suggests that the Ark was hidden by the prophet Jeremiah, who took it to a secret location to protect it from the Babylonians. Some believe it was hidden in a cave on Mount Nebo, while others claim it was concealed beneath the Temple of Solomon. Another fascinating story comes from Ethiopia, where the Ethiopian Orthodox Church claims to possess the Ark, housed in the Church of St. Mary of Zion in Aksum. According to this tradition, Menelik the son of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba, brought the Ark to Ethiopia, and there has been much debate over the authenticity of this claim, with some asserting that the Ark is indeed in Ethiopia, while others argue it is a mere legend. Moreover, some historians theorize that the Ark may have been taken to Babylon, where it could have been lost or destroyed. This idea aligns with the historical context of the Babylonian conquest, which saw many sacred artifacts captured and relocated. However, no definitive evidence supports this theory. In contemporary times, the search for the Ark continues to captivate adventurers and archaeologists, with expeditions launched to various potential locations, including Mount Sinai, and even claims of its existence within the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, the quest for the Ark remains a tantalizing mystery, inspiring books, documentaries, and films. The fate of the Ark of the Covenant is not only a religious topic, but also one that touches on questions of history, archaeology, and even modern-day geopolitics, as the search for this legendary artifact illustrates humanity's deep-seated desire to connect with the Dyatlov Pass incident, a mysterious event that occurred in the Ural Mountains of Russia in 1959, continues to intrigue researchers, historians, and enthusiasts alike, as it involves a group of experienced hikers who met a tragic fate under strange circumstances. On February 1st, a group of 9 skiers, led by Igor Dyatlov, set out for a skiing expedition, but they never returned, prompting search parties to look for them. When their tent was finally discovered, it was found to be cut open from the inside, and the hikers had fled into the freezing night, some without proper clothing or footwear. This led to many questions about what could have frightened them so severely that they left their shelter in such haste. Various theories have emerged over the years, some suggesting an avalanche might have been the cause, as the area is known for its risk of snowslides. However, many experts argue that the conditions were not right for an avalanche, which raises further questions. Another popular theory revolves around a phenomenon called infrasound, which occurs when wind passes over mountains, creating low-frequency sound waves that can induce panic or disorientation in humans. Some have suggested that the hikers may have experienced such a phenomenon, leading them to flee in a state of fear. Additionally, there are darker theories, including military involvement, as the area was known for secretive testing of parachute mines during that time. Some believe the hikers could have witnessed something they weren't supposed to see, leading to their untimely demise. Strange injuries were discovered on some of the bodies, including one with a missing tongue and another with severe chest trauma, which some experts likened to being subjected to extreme pressure, almost as if they had been in a car crash. Others proposed that they may have encountered a wild animal, adding to the mystery of what truly happened that night. The military angle has been further fueled by the fact that some of the hikers had high levels of radiation on their clothes, which has puzzled investigators for decades. Despite numerous investigations and theories, no single explanation has been widely accepted, and many aspects of the incident remain unexplained, creating a captivating narrative that continues to capture the imagination of those interested in unsolved mysteries. The combination of the harsh environment, human psychology, and possibly even supernatural elements adds layers to this already complex story, making it a compelling subject for those who love to delve into the unknown. The Phaistos disk, discovered in 1908 on the island of Crete, is one of the most intriguing artifacts from the Minoan civilization, which thrived from approximately 2700 to 1450 BCE. This disk, made of fired clay, is about 6 inches in diameter and features a series of symbols arranged in a spiral, which have puzzled historians, linguists, and archaeologists for over a century. The symbols on the disk consist of 45 distinct signs, some of which resemble hieroglyphs, while others appear to be unique to the disk itself, leading to much debate about their meaning and purpose. Phaistos discourse range from it being a form of early writing, perhaps a language system or a form of proto-writing, to suggestions that it could be a religious or ceremonial object, or even a game. Some scholars believe it might have been used for recording prayers or rituals, given the context of other Minoan artifacts found nearby, which often relate to religious practices. Others posit that the disk could have served as a means of communication, perhaps as a message to be shared among the Minoans, or as a teaching tool, given the repetitive nature of some symbols. The lack of a Rosetta Stone-like key to decipher the disk has made it particularly challenging to understand, and as a result, many of the interpretations remain speculative. Despite extensive research, no one has definitively cracked the code of the Phaistos disk, which adds to its allure, capturing the imagination of those who study ancient civilizations. Theories about its significance often reflect broader questions about the nature of writing and communication in ancient societies, raising fascinating discussions about how early humans documented their lives, beliefs, and knowledge. The Phaistos disk not only provides insight into the Minoan culture, but also highlights the complexities involved in interpreting ancient artifacts, as it reflects the challenges of language evolution and the transition from oral to written communication. With its unique symbols, this disk remains a symbol of mystery in the archaeological world, inviting ongoing research and exploration, as each new finding could shed light on its purpose and the civilization that created it. The fact that the Phaistos disk has never been found in association with any other similar artifacts adds to the enigma, prompting questions about whether it was a one-of-a-kind item or part of a larger tradition of writing that has since been lost to time. The ongoing attempts to decipher its meanings reveal the Shroud of Turin, a piece of cloth that many believe to be the burial shroud of Jesus Christ, has sparked fascination, debate, and intrigue for centuries. Its origin dates back to the Middle Ages, although the exact timeline remains shrouded in mystery, much like the cloth itself. The earliest historical records of the shroud appear in the 14th century, specifically in France, where it was displayed in the Léry Chapel. However, some researchers suggest that its history could be much older, potentially tracing back to the time of Christ. One theory proposes that the shroud was created as a piece of artwork, possibly as a way to visually convey the story of Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection. This idea is supported by the fact that there were many artistic depictions of Christ during the medieval period, emphasizing the religious and cultural significance of his image. The shroud bears the image of a man who appears to have suffered crucifixion, with wounds resembling those described in the Gospels, such as marks on the wrists and feet, and a wound in the side, which has led many to connect it directly to Jesus. Scientific studies, including radiocarbon dating, have attempted to provide clarity on the shroud's age. In 1988, tests conducted by laboratories in Oxford, Zurich, and Tucson dated the fabric to the late 13th to early 14th centuries, leading many to conclude that it is a medieval forgery. However, some proponents of the shroud's authenticity argue that these results could have been influenced by later contamination or repairs made to the cloth, suggesting that the actual origin might be much older and tied closely to the early Christian era. Additionally, there are theories that the shroud might have traveled through various regions of Europe, possibly even being hidden during times of persecution. Some believe it could have been in the possession of the Knights Templar, who were known for their secretive practices and connections to early Christianity. This connection intrigues many, as the Templars often sought to protect and preserve relics from the early Christian period. Moreover, the shroud has also been studied through the lens of art history. Some art historians propose that the image on the shroud could have been created using techniques known during the medieval period, such as the use of pigments or a process involving light, which might explain the intricate details visible on the cloth. This theory adds another layer to the mystery, as it raises questions. The collapse of the Mayan civilization, a fascinating topic that has intrigued historians and archaeologists for decades, is believed to have been caused by a combination of multiple factors, rather than a single event. One of the most significant reasons is the severe environmental degradation, particularly deforestation, which resulted from the Mayans' agricultural practices. As the population grew, the demand for agricultural land increased, leading to the clearing of vast areas of forest. This deforestation, coupled with poor soil management, led to soil depletion, making it increasingly difficult to sustain the large populations that the city-states had come to support. Additionally, the region faced prolonged periods of drought, which have been identified through the analysis of sediment cores taken from lakes in the area. These droughts, combined with the already stressed environment, would have severely impacted food production, leading to famine and social unrest. The Mayans relied heavily on their agricultural system, and when it began to fail, the consequences were dire. As food became scarce, competition for resources intensified, leading to conflict among the city-states, further destabilizing the region. Another critical factor in the collapse was the political structure of the Mayan civilization, which was composed of multiple city-states, each ruled by its own king. This decentralized political system made it difficult to respond to the challenges of drought and resource scarcity effectively. When crises struck, some city-states were unable to provide the necessary leadership or coordination to manage the situation, leading to fragmentation and the eventual abandonment of cities. Moreover, the Mayans had a rich cultural and religious life which was deeply intertwined with their agricultural practices. As the crops failed and the societal structure began to unravel, The religious beliefs that once unified the people may have lost their power, causing further disintegration of social cohesion. The elite classes, who had maintained power through their connection to the gods and the agricultural cycles, likely found their authority challenged as the situation worsened. The collapse of the Mayan civilization was not uniform. While some regions experienced rapid decline, others continued to thrive for centuries. The southern lowlands, where many of the major cities, such as Tikal and Calakmul, were located, saw a significant population decline, while areas to the north, like the Yucatan Peninsula, remained populated and culturally vibrant for a longer time. This suggests that the reasons for the collapse were not only environmental and political, but also varied geographically, as some areas may have been better equipped to adapt to the changes. The first emperor of China, known as Qin Shi Huang, was a remarkable figure, whose reign marked the beginning of a unified Chinese state. Born as Ying Zheng in 259 BC, he ascended the throne of the Qin state at the young age of 13, after the mysterious death of his father, who was the king. As he grew older, he became determined to consolidate power, and through a series of military conquests, he succeeded in unifying the warring states of China in 221 BC, thus declaring himself the first emperor, or Shi Huangdi, which translates to First August Emperor. His reign was characterized by a series of sweeping reforms, which included standardizing the currency, weights and measures, as well as the writing system, all of which helped to facilitate trade and communication across the newly unified empire. Qin Shi Huang is perhaps best known for his ambitious projects, most notably the construction of the Great Wall of China, which was aimed at protecting the northern borders from invasions by nomadic tribes. He also initiated the building of an extensive network of roads and canals, enhancing transportation and military movement throughout the empire. One of the most extraordinary achievements attributed to him is the Terracotta Army, a vast collection of life-size statues buried with him in his tomb, meant to accompany him in the afterlife and protect him from any threats. This incredible archaeological find, discovered in 1974, has provided historians with invaluable insights into the military practices, artistry, and culture of that time. Not without controversy. Qin Shi Huang Rupadu. He was known for his harsh, authoritarian governance, which involved severe punishments and a centralized bureaucratic system that stifled dissent. He implemented a policy of book burning and buried scholars alive, aiming to suppress intellectual thought that contradicted his vision for the state, leading to a legacy that is often viewed for a unified China. His methods were brutal and left a mark of fear on the populace, while the emperor's obsession with immortality also led him to seek out elixirs and alchemical practices, as he feared death and wanted to rule forever. His quest for eternal life ultimately resulted in his demise, as some historians believe that the mercury used in these elixirs may have contributed to his death in 210 BC. At the age of 49, after his passing, the Qin dynasty, which he had established, faced significant backlash. The Mary Celeste, a brigantine ship, has intrigued historians and mystery enthusiasts alike, since it was found adrift in the Atlantic Ocean in 1872. With no crew on board and no apparent signs of struggle or distress, the ship was in good condition, with its cargo of alcohol mostly intact, raising questions about what could have led to such an event. The Mary Celeste set sail from New York City, bound for Genoa, Italy, but vanished from the shipping lanes, only to be discovered by the British brig Dei Gratia, which reported its eerie state. The ship's lifeboat was missing, but the personal belongings of the crew remained, along with a full cargo, suggesting that the crew left in haste, yet there were no signs of violence or piracy. As various theories have been proposed to explain this mysterious abandonment. Some suggest a possible alcohol vapors explosion, which could have caused the crew to panic and leave the ship, while others speculate that they may have encountered a sudden storm, leading to fear of capsizing, prompting them to evacuate, although the weather was reported to be calm at the time of discovery, which raises doubts about that theory. Another idea is that the crew might have suffered from a mass delusion or a mental breakdown, possibly triggered by the stress of a long voyage or exposure to toxic fumes from the ship's cargo. There are also rumors of sightings of a phantom ship in the vicinity, which, some believe, could have caused the crew to abandon their post. Yet no concrete evidence has emerged to support such claims. Additionally, some researchers have delved into the personal lives of the crew members, suggesting that interpersonal conflicts or fears of mutiny could have contributed to their decision to leave. But these ideas remain speculative, as the crew's fate is still largely unknown. The mystery of the Mary Celeste continues to captivate people, not just due to the ship itself, but because of the broader questions it raises about human behavior, fear, and the unknown, making it a topic of enduring intrigue in maritime history. The Elgin marbles, a collection of classical Greek marble sculptures, are steeped in history and controversy, originating from the Parthenon and other structures on the Acropolis of Athens. Created in the 5th century BC, during the height of the Athenian Empire, these masterpieces were sculpted under the direction of the renowned artist Phidias, who is often credited with the artistic vision that defined this period. The marbles depict various scenes from Greek mythology and history, showcasing gods, goddesses, and heroic figures, which reflect the values and beliefs of ancient Greek society, emphasizing themes like beauty, valor, and the divine connection between humans and their gods. In the early 19th century, the British diplomat Lord Elgin obtained the marbles from the Ottoman Empire, which controlled Greece at the time. He claimed that he sought to preserve them, as they were facing neglect and damage. However, this acquisition sparked a heated debate and ongoing dispute over their rightful ownership. Many argue that the marbles rightfully belong in Greece, where they were originally created, while others contend that Lord Elgin's actions were justified, as they helped to ensure the sculpture's preservation. This has led to a broader discussion about cultural heritage and the ethical implications of art repatriation, with many countries advocating for the return of artifacts taken during colonial periods. The Elgin marbles have become a symbol of cultural identity and national pride for Greece, representing not just artistic achievement, but also a connection to the ancient past. Their presence in the British Museum has prompted extensive public discourse about the responsibilities of museums in caring for and displaying artifacts acquired during times of colonial expansion. As debates continue, the marbles stand as a reminder of the complexities surrounding art, ownership, and the narratives we build around history. Today, the Elgin marbles are not only a testament to the artistic prowess of ancient Greece, but also a focal point for discussions on heritage, identity, and the ongoing quest for justice in the realm of cultural property. The Roswell incident, which took place in July 1947, is often shrouded in mystery and speculation, with many people believing it to be a pivotal moment in UFO history. At the heart of the incident is the crash of an unidentified object near Roswell, New Mexico, which the United States military initially described as a flying disc, only to later clarify that it was a weather balloon from a classified program called Project Mogul. This abrupt change in the story fueled countless conspiracy theories, leading many to speculate that the government was hiding evidence of extraterrestrial life. The initial recovery of the debris by military personnel, combined with reports of strange lights in the sky, sparked public fascination and skepticism. In the years following the incident, numerous books, documentaries, and articles have emerged, each trying to unravel the truth behind those enigmatic events. As a result, Roswell has become a cultural phenomenon, representing not only the possibility of alien encounters, but also the tensions between the government and the public regarding transparency. Witnesses who claim to have seen the crash site or even the bodies of extraterrestrial beings have come forward, adding layers to the ongoing debate. Some of these accounts have been corroborated by researchers, while others remain anecdotal, raising questions about what really happened that fateful summer. Interestingly, in the decades since the incident, the US government has declassified many documents related to UFO sightings and investigations. Yet the Roswell incident still stands out due to its unique blend of military secrecy and public curiosity. In fact, the US Air Force published a report in 1994 which reiterated that the debris recovered was part of Project Mogul, but this has not stopped enthusiasts and skeptics from continuing to explore the possibility of a cover-up. The allure of Roswell lies not only in the event itself, but also in its ability to spark discussions about the existence of life beyond Earth, the nature of truth, and the limits of governmental authority. Moreover, Roswell has inspired a wide array of cultural references, from films to television series, often depicting the town as a hub of alien activity, which only further fuels interest in the incident. The annual Roswell UFO Festival, which celebrates this legacy, draws thousands of visitors each year, showcasing a community that embraces its reputation while inviting questions about what might still be hidden. As researchers and enthusiasts continue to seek answers, the Roswell incident serves as a reminder of our enduring fascination with the unknown. Highlighting the identity of William Shakespeare has intrigued scholars, enthusiasts, and the general public for centuries, sparking various theories and debates, as many aspects of his life remain shrouded in mystery, leading some to question whether the man from Stratford-upon-Avon truly wrote the works attributed to him. Some experts argue that Shakespeare's limited formal education would have made it difficult for him to produce such profound works, while others suggest that his life experiences, including his connections to the world of theatre and his knowledge of the upper classes, provided him with the insights necessary to create complex characters and intricate plots. Among the most popular alternative candidates for the authorship of Shakespeare's plays are figures like Edward de Vere, the Earl of Oxford, and Christopher Marlowe, both of whom had literary talent and connections to the elite, leading some to believe they could have been the true authors behind the works. The Earl of Oxford theory, in particular, posits that he was a highly educated nobleman who travelled extensively and possessed the life experiences reflected in Shakespeare's plays, while the Marlowe theory speculates that the playwright faked his own death and continued writing under Shakespeare's name, although these theories lack concrete evidence and are often dismissed by mainstream scholars. Moreover, there are arguments that Shakespeare's works, rich with insights into human nature and society, reflect the collective experiences of the time rather than the individual experiences of a single author, suggesting that the works may have been a product of collaboration among various playwrights and poets. Adding to the mystery is the fact that Shakespeare's name appears on the title pages of many of his plays, but there are also instances of plays being published without his name, leading some to suggest that his identity might have been a marketing strategy, as associating a play with a known figure could have boosted its popularity. The lack of manuscripts, personal letters, or diaries from Shakespeare further complicates the search for his true identity, as most of the existing records were created by others, often reflecting the interests of the time rather than providing personal insights. Even his grave in Stratford-upon-Avon offers little. In the Lost Library of Alexandria, often regarded as one of the most significant repositories of knowledge in the ancient world, has captured the imagination of historians, scholars, and enthusiasts alike. Ever since its mysterious demise, established in the 3rd century BCE, this legendary institution in Alexandria, Egypt, was not just a library, but a vibrant center of learning, attracting the brightest minds of the time, including mathematicians, astronomers, poets, and philosophers. Astonishing. The library had, like many others, become poetry, a film and photography, opera. Xingyun Siemen was said to house hundreds of thousands of scrolls containing works from various cultures and disciplines, including literature, science, and philosophy, representing the collective knowledge of the ancient world. However, the fate of this intellectual treasure is shrouded in mystery, with several theories attempting to explain its gradual decline and ultimate destruction. One popular theory suggests that the library suffered extensive damage during a series of conflicts, particularly during Julius Caesar's siege of Alexandria in 48 BCE, when a fire spread throughout the city. This fire, which some accounts claim destroyed a significant portion of the library's collection, marked the beginning of a long period of decline. Yet the timeline of the library's destruction is not linear, as it is believed that subsequent events, such as the rise of Christianity and the decline of pagan learning, further contributed to the library's degradation. In fact, some historians argue that the library may have been neglected and partially dismantled over time, rather than being destroyed in a single cataclysmic event. Another theory points to the decree of Theophilus, the Patriarch of Alexandria, in 391 CE, which led to the destruction of pagan temples, including the Serapeum, which housed part of the library's collection. This act was part of the broader Christianization of the Roman Empire, which often saw the eradication of pagan knowledge and culture. Additionally, the Muslim conquest of Alexandria in 642 CE is often cited as a pivotal moment in the library's demise, with legends suggesting that Caliph Omar ordered the destruction of the remaining texts, believing they either contradicted the Quran or were unnecessary, since the Quran was considered the ultimate source of knowledge. However, many historians debate the accuracy of these accounts, pointing out that evidence for such an order is scant. Despite the uncertainty surrounding its destruction, the legacy of the Library of Alexandria endures, inspiring countless works of fiction, film, and scholarly inquiry. Its story has become a symbol of the fragility of knowledge and the importance of preserving intellectual heritage. The Black Death, which swept through Europe in the mid-14th century, was one of the deadliest pandemics in human history, claiming the lives of an estimated 25 million people, roughly 1/3 of Europe's population at the time. The primary cause of this devastating outbreak was a bacterium known as Yersinia pestis, which is transmitted through fleas that infest rats. These fleas, often found in urban areas, would bite the rats, and then when the rats died, the fleas would seek new hosts, including humans. The disease manifested in several forms, with the most notorious being the bubonic plague, characterized by swollen lymph nodes, fever, and chills, but it could also appear as septicemic or pneumonic plague, each with its own set of symptoms and modes of transmission. Interestingly, the spread of the Black Death was facilitated by various factors including trade routes, migration, and the movement of armies. The Silk Road, for example, was a key artery of commerce connecting East and West, and it allowed not only for the exchange of goods, but also for the rapid spread of the plague. Ships carrying goods and people brought the disease from Asia to Europe, with the first major outbreak occurring in the port of Messina in Sicily in 1347. This marked the beginning of a catastrophic wave of illness that would sweep across the continent. Another contributing factor to the severity of the Black Death was the social and economic conditions of the time. Europe in the 14th century was experiencing significant upheaval, with overpopulation, famine, and poor sanitation, creating a perfect storm for the spread of infectious diseases. The crowded living conditions in cities meant that once the plague entered a community, it could spread rapidly, overwhelming health systems and leaving little time for effective responses. The medical knowledge of the time was limited, and many people believed that the plague was a punishment from God, leading to widespread fear and superstition. The impact of the Black Death went beyond immediate health concerns. It reshaped society in profound ways. Labor shortages caused by the high mortality rates led to increased wages for workers and a decline in feudalism, as surviving peasants found themselves in demand. The plague also prompted changes in public health policies as communities sought to prevent future outbreaks by implementing quarantine measures and improving sanitation. This period marked a turning point in the understanding of disease, leading to advancements in medical practices in the centuries that followed. In the years since the Black Death, the Basque language, known as Euskara, is a fascinating subject. Particularly because it stands out as a linguistic enigma in Europe, it is not related to any other known language family. Unlike most languages in Europe which belong to the Indo-European family, Euskara's origins remain shrouded in mystery, leading scholars to ponder its roots for centuries. The Basque people, who inhabit the region between modern-day Spain and France, have spoken this language for thousands of years, and its survival is a testament to their unique cultural identity. Linguists have tried to trace the origins of Euskara, some suggesting that it may have existed before the arrival of Indo-European languages in the region, which would mean it has ancient roots that predate recorded history. This theory is supported by the fact that Euskara has no known relatives, making it a linguistic isolate, a term used to describe a language that does not belong to any larger language family. Some researchers have even proposed that the language may be linked to the ancient Iberian language, but definitive evidence remains elusive. Theories about the language's development include the idea that it evolved from the languages spoken by the prehistoric peoples who lived in the region, particularly during the time of the Paleolithic and Neolithic periods. As the Basque people adapted to their environment, it is believed that their language also evolved, incorporating elements from surrounding languages over time. Furthermore, as the Roman Empire expanded, the Basque region experienced significant cultural and linguistic influences. Yet, Euskara managed to maintain its distinctiveness. Despite its isolation, Euskara has borrowed words and phrases from neighboring languages, such as Spanish and French, especially as a result of political and social changes over the centuries. In contemporary times, the language has seen a revival with efforts to promote its use in education, media, and public life, which has sparked renewed interest among younger generations. This resurgence has helped revitalize a language that many believed was on the verge of extinction, showcasing the resilience of the Basque culture. Interestingly, the Basque alphabet consists of 27 letters, and the language's phonetics can be quite distinct, making it challenging for non-native speakers to master. Additionally, Euskara features a complex system of verb conjugation that can vary depending on the subject, object, and the context of the sentence, showcasing its linguistic richness. As a language that continues to evolve, Euskara also incorporates new terms to keep pace with modern developments, blending tradition with contemporary. The Great Wall of China, a monumental feat of ancient engineering, stretches over 1,300 miles across northern China, and its primary purpose was defense. Built over several dynasties, starting as early as the 7th century BC, the wall aimed to protect various Chinese states and empires from invasions and raids by nomadic groups, particularly the Mongols, who posed a significant threat during different historical periods. This massive structure, made primarily of earth, wood, bricks, and stone, was not just a physical barrier, but also served as a psychological deterrent, signaling the strength and resolve of the Chinese people. Beyond its defensive role, the Great Wall also helped to regulate trade and immigration along the Silk Road, which was a crucial route for commerce and cultural exchange between the East and the West. Watchtowers and fortresses were built at strategic points along the wall, allowing for better surveillance and communication. Soldiers stationed in these watchtowers could quickly send signals using smoke or fire, alerting nearby garrisons of any approaching threats. Interestingly, the wall also played a role in the governance of the region, as it helped to control the movement of people and goods, ensuring that trade could flourish while also keeping potential invaders at bay. Over time, as the wall was extended and strengthened, it became a symbol of national unity and strength, embodying the resilience of the Chinese people. The construction of the Great Wall was a massive undertaking that required the labor of hundreds of thousands of workers, many of whom faced harsh conditions and perilous tasks, and the legacy of their efforts can still be seen today. As dynasties rose and fell, different sections of the wall were built, rebuilt, or abandoned, reflecting the changing needs and priorities of the Chinese states. The Ming dynasty, which ruled from the 14th to the 17th centuries, is particularly known for the construction of the most well-preserved sections of the wall that we see today, utilizing bricks and stone, which provided greater durability compared to earlier materials. The Great Wall of China remains a testament to the fall of the Roman Empire is a topic that fascinates many as it marks the end of one of the most powerful civilizations in history. Scholars have pointed to a variety of reasons for this decline, which took place over several centuries. One significant factor was the empire's vast size, which made it increasingly difficult to govern effectively. And travel became more complicated, leading to delays in decision-making and a strain on resources. Additionally, the empire faced immense pressure from external forces. The invasions by various barbarian tribes, such as the Visigoths and Vandals, contributed to the destabilization of Roman territories. These tribes often took advantage of the weakening military strength of Rome, which had been compromised by long-standing internal strife and a lack of recruitment due to a declining population. Moreover, economic troubles played a crucial role in Rome's downfall. The empire struggled with inflation and a reliance on slave labor, which stifled innovation and economic growth. As the empire expanded, it became increasingly difficult to maintain a stable economy, and heavy taxation led to discontent among the populace. This economic decline was further exacerbated by a series of poor harvests and plagues, which reduced the workforce and created food shortages. These hardships only fueled social unrest, leading to riots and a loss of faith in the government. Another contributing factor to the fall of the Roman Empire was the rise of Christianity, which shifted focus away from traditional Roman values and civic duty. As Christianity spread, it changed the cultural landscape of the empire, leading to a decline in the previously unifying Roman identity. The church became a powerful institution in its own right, often in conflict with state authority, as loyalty to God sometimes took precedence over loyalty to the empire. This shift in priorities diluted the sense of unity that had been vital for the empire's strength. Additionally, political instability plagued the Roman Empire, with a succession of weak leaders and civil wars undermining effective governance. The frequent changes in leadership meant that policies were inconsistent, and the government struggled to maintain control over its provinces. Corruption and favoritism further eroded trust in the ruling class, leading to more dissatisfaction among the citizens. The lack of a clear succession plan also resulted in power struggles, as various factions vied for control, often leading to violent confrontations. Finally, the division of the empire into the Western Roman Empire and the Eastern Roman Empire, also known as the Byzantine Empire, created further complications. While the identity of the Romanov family's murderer has intrigued historians, researchers, and enthusiasts for decades, leading to numerous theories and investigations into one of the most tragic events in Russian history. On July 17, 118, the last Tsar of Russia, Nicholas II, along with his wife, Alexandra, and their 5 children, were executed by Bolshevik forces in Yekaterinburg, a city in the Ural Mountains. The official narrative attributes the killings to a group of Bolshevik soldiers acting under the orders of the local Soviet. But the specifics of who actually pulled the trigger and how the execution was carried out remains a subject of debate. Some historians argue that Yakov Yurovsky, the chief of the execution squad, was the main figure behind the murders, given his position and the account he later provided. Yurovsky's own writings suggest he was directly involved in the planning and execution of the family, detailing the circumstances leading up to that fateful night. However, the mystery deepens with the involvement of higher-ranking Bolshevik officials, such as Felix Dzerzhinsky, the head of the Cheka, the secret police, who some believe may have been behind the decision to execute the Romanovs. This raises questions about whether the execution was a spontaneous act of violence or part of a calculated plan to eliminate any potential threats to the Bolshevik regime. In the aftermath of the murders, the bodies of the Romanovs were disposed of in a makeshift grave, and for many years their final resting place remained a mystery. It was not until the 1990s that the remains were discovered, leading to further investigations into the identities of the murderers, as well as the motives behind the execution. Theories abound about the exact events of that night, with some witnesses claiming that the execution was chaotic, with soldiers reportedly firing indiscriminately, while others assert that it was a planned and methodical execution. The identities of the soldiers involved have been the subject of speculation, with some historians suggesting that they were motivated by a mixture of ideology and personal animosity towards the Romanovs, whose reign had been marked by significant social and political unrest. The tensions of the time, combined with the brutality of the Civil War, created an environment where the execution could be justified in the minds of the perpetrators as a necessary act of revolution. At that time, the United States was on high alert, grappling with fears of Japanese attacks on the West Coast, especially after the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor. The city of Los Angeles, a major urban center, became the focus of an unusual incident that would later be described as a potential air raid. As the story goes, air raid sirens blared across the city, causing widespread panic among residents, who rushed to their windows and took shelter wherever they could. In the midst of this chaos, anti-aircraft artillery units were ordered to engage what was reported as enemy aircraft hovering over the city. Searchlights swept the sky, illuminating what appeared to be unidentified flying objects. However, despite the intense barrage of anti-aircraft fire, which lasted for over an hour, no enemy aircraft were ever confirmed to be present. The military's response was swift and overwhelming, with more than 1,400 rounds of ammunition fired into the night sky, creating a dramatic scene that lit up the darkness. In the aftermath, confusion reigned. The military initially claimed that there was indeed an air raid, but later investigations suggested that the incident might have been a false alarm, triggered by a combination of war nerves, weather balloons, and perhaps even a stray aircraft. Eyewitness accounts varied widely, with some insisting they saw planes flying overhead, while others believed it was simply a case of mass hysteria. The term Battle of Los Angeles would go on to evoke images of a city under siege, yet the true circumstances remain enigmatic, leading to various conspiracy theories and speculation about what really happened that night. Adding to the intrigue, the incident has been linked to discussions about unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, with some claiming that what people saw that night were extraterrestrial in nature. While there is no solid evidence to support this notion, the Battle of Los Angeles remains a pivotal moment in American history, reflecting the fears and uncertainties of a nation at war. The event, often cited in popular culture, has inspired various documentaries, films, and books, each attempting to piece together the happenings of that fateful night. Despite decades of analysis, the confusion surrounding the Battle of Los Angeles persists, leaving historians and enthusiasts alike to ponder the reality of what occurred on the Stone of Destiny. Also known as the Stone of Scone, holds a significant place in Scottish history and folklore. This ancient stone, which is a block of sandstone, has been associated with the crowning of Scottish kings for centuries, symbolizing the authority and legitimacy of the monarchy. According to legend, the stone was used by the biblical figure Jacob as a pillow during his dream of a ladder reaching to heaven, and it has since become a powerful emblem of Scottish identity and sovereignty. Historically, the stone was kept at Scone Abbey, where Scottish kings were traditionally crowned, until it was taken by Edward I of England in 1296, an act that was seen as a major blow to Scottish independence. The stone remained in England for centuries, often symbolizing English rule over Scotland, until it was returned in 1996, where it now resides in Edinburgh Castle, alongside the crown jewels of Scotland. The Stone of Destiny is not only a physical object, but also a potent symbol of national pride and unity for many Scots, representing their enduring struggle for autonomy and self-governance. The stone's legacy continues to inspire cultural events, and its storied past is celebrated in Scottish literature and art, making it a fascinating topic for those interested in the intertwining of history and mythology. Its presence in popular culture, particularly in films and literature, highlights its significance, often portraying it as a mystical artifact that connects the past with the present. The Stone of Destiny serves as a reminder of Scotland's rich historical tapestry, the enduring spirit of its people, and the ongoing conversation about national identity and heritage that resonates today. The mystery surrounding the stone, from its origins to its role in modern Scottish nationalism, invites curiosity and exploration, making it a captivating subject for anyone eager to delve into the depths of history and tradition. The Druids, often shrouded in mystery and intrigue, were a fascinating group of ancient Celtic priests, philosophers, and leaders who played a significant role in the spiritual and social life of their communities. The origins of the Druids are somewhat difficult to pinpoint, mainly because they left no written records of their own, relying instead on oral tradition, which makes it challenging to separate fact from myth. However, historical texts from Greek and Roman writers, such as Julius Caesar and Tacitus, provide valuable insights into their practices and beliefs. These early accounts suggest that the Druids emerged around the 4th century BCE in the regions that we now know as modern-day France, the British Isles, and parts of Central Europe. The term Druid itself is thought to derive from the Celtic word druid, which means oak knower, linking them to the sacred oak tree, a symbol of strength and knowledge in Celtic culture. They were believed to be deeply connected to nature, often conducting rituals in sacred groves and using natural elements in their ceremonies. They were not only religious figures but also served as judges, teachers, and healers, indicating their multifaceted roles within their societies. Their extensive knowledge of the natural world, astronomy, and herbal medicine set them apart as respected leaders and advisors. One of the most intriguing aspects of Druidic tradition is their belief in the afterlife, which was likely influenced by the cycles of nature, such as the changing of the seasons. They believed in reincarnation, suggesting that the soul is immortal and undergoes a series of rebirths. This idea likely shaped their rituals, which often centered around death and renewal, emphasizing the connection between life, death, and the natural world. The Druids also practiced divination, seeking guidance from the gods through various methods, including reading omens and interpreting the patterns of nature. The Roman conquest of Celtic territories led to the decline of Druidic practices, as the Romans viewed them with suspicion and sought to suppress their influence. Despite this, the legacy of the Druids continued through folklore and mythology, influencing later spiritual movements and modern interpretations of ancient wisdom. Today, many people are fascinated by Druidry as a neo-pagan spiritual practice, seeking to reconnect with nature and ancient traditions, drawing inspiration from the Druids' reverence for the earth and their holistic worldview. In conclusion, the origins of the Druids intertwine with the rich tapestry of the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, which struck on April 18th, was one of the most significant and devastating seismic events in American history, and it has intrigued scientists and historians alike for over a century. The primary cause of this earthquake was the movement along the San Andreas Fault, a major fault line that runs through California extending roughly 800 miles. This fault is a transform fault where two tectonic plates slide past each other. In the case of the San Andreas Fault, the Pacific plate moves northwestward, while the North American plate moves southeastward. The stress that builds up along this fault, due to the friction between these two massive plates, creates a tremendous amount of energy, which, when released, results in an earthquake. The 1906 earthquake originated near the coast, just offshore from San Francisco, and it registered a magnitude of approximately 7.9 on the Richter scale. This immense energy release caused the ground to shake violently for about 45 to 60 seconds, leading to widespread destruction. Buildings collapsed, streets buckled, and fires erupted, causing further devastation in the already shaken city. The earthquake was not just a singular event, but a precursor to significant changes in the understanding of seismic activity, as it highlighted the importance of studying fault lines and their behavior. As it highlighted the importance of smaller tremors in the months leading up to the disaster, which many residents disregarded, thinking they were just normal occurrences in a region known for its geological activity. However, those small earthquakes were a sign that pressure was building up along the fault line. The 1906 quake's intensity was so great that it was felt as far away as Los Angeles and even in parts of Nevada. The aftermath of the earthquake prompted significant changes in building codes and urban planning, as cities began to recognize the importance of preparing for and mitigating the effects of such natural disasters. As a result of this tragic event, the study of seismology advanced significantly, with scientists eager to understand the mechanics behind earthquakes, leading to better predictive models and safety measures over the years. The legacy of the 1906 San Francisco earthquake continues to influence how cities prepare for seismic activity, making it a pivotal moment in both geological research and urban development. The USS Cyclops was a Navy cargo ship that mysteriously vanished in March 1918 during World War I, while sailing between Barbados and Baltimore. This disappearance, which is one of the most famous unsolved maritime mysteries, has fascinated historians and enthusiasts alike for decades. The Cyclops was a collier ship, meaning it was primarily used to transport coal, and it was part of a larger class of ships designed for service in the Navy. The ship was over 500 feet long, and it could carry a significant amount of cargo, making it a vital asset during the war. What makes the fate of the Cyclops particularly intriguing is the context in which it disappeared. At the time, the Atlantic Ocean was a theater of war, with German U-boats threatening Allied shipping routes. Despite the dangers, the Cyclops set out on its journey, carrying a crew of about 309 men and a cargo of manganese ore, which was crucial for the production of steel. After the ship left Barbados, it was expected to arrive in Baltimore, but it never made it. No distress signals were sent, and no wreckage was ever found, leading to a flurry of speculation and theories about what could have happened. Some believe that the ship encountered a severe storm, possibly one of the hurricanes that can occur in the Caribbean and Atlantic during that time of year. Others suggest that the Cyclops may have fallen victim to a German submarine attack, although there was no evidence of such an encounter. Theories also abound regarding potential mutiny or internal issues on the ship, which could have led to its disappearance. Adding to the intrigue, the Cyclops was not the only ship to vanish in the Bermuda Triangle, a region infamous for its strange disappearances, which has led to various urban legends and conspiracy theories over the years. The Navy, however, has always maintained that there is no evidence to support the more sensational theories, focusing instead on the more likely scenarios of natural disasters or human error. The loss of the USS Cyclops remains one of the largest non-combat losses of life in U.S. Navy history, and to this day, the ship's fate continues to be a source of interest, with historians, researchers, and amateur sleuths exploring the myriad theories surrounding its disappearance. The mystery captivates those who ponder over the possibilities, wondering what might have transpired on that fateful journey as it sails into the annals of maritime lore, leaving behind unanswered questions. And the Hindenburg. A German passenger airship met a tragic fate on May 6, 1937, when it caught fire and was destroyed during its attempt to dock at Naval Air Station Lakehurst in New Jersey, leading to the deaths of 36 people. The reasons behind the Hindenburg's disappearance and the disaster that followed have been the subject of much speculation and investigation over the years. One of the main factors attributed to the disaster is the use of hydrogen gas as the lifting agent. Unlike helium, which is non-flammable, hydrogen is highly explosive, and although the airship had been designed with safety measures in mind, the highly flammable nature of hydrogen posed a significant risk. Further complicating matters, the weather conditions on that fateful day were less than ideal. A thunderstorm was reported in the vicinity, which could have contributed to static electricity build-up on the surface of the airship. As the Hindenburg approached its landing, it began to experience issues with its mooring lines, and it's believed that the combination of the electrical charge and the hydrogen gas created a perfect storm for disaster. Witnesses reported seeing a bright flash, which many theorized was a spark igniting the hydrogen. In addition to the hydrogen, the materials used in the Hindenburg's construction also played a role in the rapid spread of the fire. The outer skin of the airship was coated with a highly flammable substance known as dope, which was used to give the airship its aerodynamic shape and to protect the fabric from the elements. This coating ignited quickly, enabling the flames to spread rapidly, engulfing the airship in a matter of moments. In spite of the its air travel at the time, the Hindenburg was not only a means of transportation, but also a symbol of progress and luxury in the early 20th century. Prior to the disaster, airships had garnered a reputation for being safe and elegant, attracting a wealthy clientele. However, the catastrophic event shattered this image and marked the end of the airship era, as people became wary of flying in such vessels, leading to a decline in airship travel in favor of aeroplanes, which were perceived to be safer despite their own risks. Investigations into the Hindenburg disaster continued for years, with various theories emerging about its cause. Some have suggested that sabotage might have played a role, although this has largely been dismissed by experts. The identity of the mysterious woman in the black dress linked to the Zodiac killer's infamous crime scenes has puzzled true crime enthusiasts and investigators for decades. This enigmatic figure was first mentioned in connection with the Zodiac's early murders, particularly the 1968 killing of high school students Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday, as well as the 1969 murder of Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau. Witnesses described her as a striking presence, often noted for her distinctive black dress, which stood out against the backdrop of the dark and unsettling events unfolding in California's Bay Area. Some speculate that she could have been a potential victim, a witness, or even an accomplice, but her exact role remains shrouded in mystery. Over the years, various theories have emerged regarding her identity. Some suggest she was a local resident who happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, while others believe she may have been a friend or an acquaintance of one of the victims, possibly even someone connected to the killer himself. Interestingly, some amateur sleuths have even proposed that she might be a key to understanding the Zodiac's motives, suggesting that her presence could indicate a deeper connection to the crimes. Despite the numerous investigations and public interest, law enforcement has not definitively identified this woman. Theories abound, with some suggesting she was a ghostly figure, perhaps representing the fear and chaos that surrounded the Zodiac's reign of terror. Others have argued that she was simply a figment of a witness's imagination, fueled by the panic of the time. In the age of social media and online forums, many armchair detectives have taken it upon themselves to dig deeper into the mystery, analyzing old photographs and witness testimonies, hoping to uncover new leads. Some believe that the clues to her identity might still be hidden in the archives of police reports or old newspaper clippings, waiting to be uncovered. As the Zodiac Killer's case remains unsolved, the fascination with this mysterious woman continues to grow, drawing in those who are intrigued by the darker aspects of human nature and the unsolved puzzles of history. The case of the woman in the black dress highlights the enduring mystery of the Zodiac Killer, whose identity has eluded authorities for over half a century. With each new documentary, podcast, or book released, the hope that someone might finally piece together the evidence surrounding this woman and the crimes remains alive. As the investigation into the Zodiac Killer continues,